next sketch we're going to do here, our next part we're going to do here, we're going to start a new standard IPT. We're going to start drawing this on our front plane, which is there at our XY plane. On your front plane, you're going to draw a rectangle. You guys have centered up rectangles enough. I'm going to let you do that, center that horizontally and vertically around your origin there. And once you have it centered, then dimension it to 3 inches wide and 2 inches tall. Once you got a 3x2 block, you're going to go ahead and finish that sketch, and we'll extrude that. Alright, from there we're going to go ahead and finish our sketch, and we will extrude this, and we're going to extrude it both ways, and we're going to extrude it 2 inches. So that ended up making us a 2x2 by 3 inch long block. 2x2 by 3. Now what we're going to do, the next little portion of this, we're going to make it very similar to letter G. So look at the interior details of letter G on the bottom of page 81, and we're going to make the interior details like that. If you look at that, you look at that little interior part, and you see that gray triangle that's shown there. So that gray triangle on letter G, let's look at this, and on which one of these planes, and what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to our origin, over on the side, and we're going to click on origin to open it up, and hover over top of these different planes and different axes, and tell me which one of these planes would I draw my sketch on if I wanted to draw that triangle shape that's shown on letter G. The YZ. So if you hover there on the YZ plane, that's where that triangle is on. It's on that plane. So what we need to do is we need to come up here to Start Sketch, then come down in this list, hover over the YZ plane and click, and that's going to put you on that plane for your sketch. Alright, so now, with this, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to go ahead and start drawing some lines. You don't need to do this right now, but I'm drawing some lines out here. Notice my lines are kind of hard to see until I went way out there. We can't see my lines. It's drawn to that plane that cut right through the middle of this object. So I need to do something so I can see those lines. I'm going to right click on the screen right here on top of this block. And do you see anything in this list that may be something you think we might need to do so I can see those lines? Not Hido, there's not. You might think that one. Anybody else? Not features, what? Slice, I heard somebody say? Slice graphics. So click on that one that says slice graphics. And notice now you can see my details on the inside of it. Basically chopped it apart so those graphics that are between me and the plane disappear. So there's all my green lines. So now to get rid of those, you might think I just go in there and hit delete. Delete those lines out. But my problem with that is, as somebody else found out earlier today, I think it was Jordan, when I do it like that, notice what I also deleted. My origin. Couple different things you can do there. One is you can go here and you can go to this tab, which is Sketch tab. You can go Project Geometry. The same as what we did just a moment ago in this origin list. There's one down there called Center Point. I can click on it and I can re-project my origin. Or, better habit to get used to is when you delete, just don't put a big window around everything and delete everything. Maybe delete things like that. So you just selected those lines I need to delete, and I did not select my origin to delete. Alright, so now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw that triangle shape here on this view. So I'm going to go use my line command. I'm going to start my triangle shape right here on this corner. Notice when you hover over that corner, it turns green. So I'm going to have my line started there. I'm going to draw my line straight over. Right here, it gives me a little yellow dot if I'm lined up with that. It shows me that I'm parallel to that top edge. Notice it disconnects your line there. Why it does that, I don't know, but it does. So now I'm going to go back here. It's going to give me a green dot again when I just restart my line right there. Going to come down at an angle down to about here-ish. Again, it disconnected my line. It may or may not disconnect your line. That's kind of up to you. Sometimes it does a little bit differently. So now I'm going to go back there with my line command again, connect it on there. I always pull my man out here to the side so I know it's connected. And now I'm going to go right back up to there. So there I have my three lines. My top line and my side line are blue that you see there. And this line is green. Now I'm going to go there and dimension it. If you didn't catch that, I'll go back and show you again. But I'm going to come in here and I'm going to dimension this. I'm going to dimension from this corner of it to this corner of it. And I'm going to put that in there at 1.5. I'm going to dimension from the top down to that corner right there. And I'm going to dimension that at 1.5. That should have turned it all blue. You can finish your sketch there and extrude it. And there's going to be a little bit of difference with the extrude that we'll talk about here in just a bit. But we're about out of time right now. So once you finish your sketch, you're going to go up and go to extrude. It should automatically recognize it. If it does not, you just have to click on your profile button, come out here and hover, and you should be able to select your profile. Now right now it's adding to the block. It's this one that's called join. We don't want to join. We want to go to our second option down, which is called cut. And we're going to cut this block. We don't want to cut it all that direction. We want to cut it both directions. And we are going to cut it 2. And go OK. And it cuts out that middle part of this block just like that. It makes it look really nice. All right. From there, that's basically what we've got. We got like less than 2 minutes left. Let's go ahead and save that there. So I'm just... All right. From there, what we're going to do is we're going to do a new sketch. We're going to now make it look like letter M and do those 2 things that are on the right and the left side. So we're going to start a new sketch. We're going to start it over here on this right side. With that sketch started there, we're going to go ahead and draw this block around here. So I'm going to look there at the book. I'm going to start my line here on this corner. Actually, yeah, I'm going to start on this corner. I'm going to start it there. I'm going to draw it down like so. Across over to about there. Whoops, and that just ended me off of it. So I'm going to try that again. Up to about there. And over to there. All right. So that's got me that thing drawn in there. So I'm going to go ahead and put some dimensions in there. I'm going to put a dimension here to here and make that a 1/2 inch. And now on this, I really want this to be 2 inches wide here. So I'm going to go there and make that 2 inches wide. Now, you know what? I don't know why that did not show up dark blue there. It should have. I'm going to undo mine. And I'm going to do it again. Let me try this again. Line. I'm going to start it up here on the top. I'm going to go from there. I'm going to go to there. Nice dark blue line. To there. To there. All right. Well, it's still giving me that as a green line. Interesting. You two. I must have been missing that green connection there. So there. Now it's connected there green. Goodness. All right. So that line across there. Going to draw a line from there to there. And now I'm looking more beautiful. When you do that correctly, when you're not having issues, the top and the bottom line and the line on the right should be full blue. Now, I'm going to go ahead and dimension this length of this line up here to be a 1/2 inch. And now with this on the bottom. From here to here, that measurement is actually 2 inches. And that turns it full blue. But the only problem with this is I put a dimension in here. So let's say we did do that. Dimension that is 2 inches. But let's then say you're going to finish your sketch. And let's say this extrusion changed. And this is no longer a 2-inch extrusion. This is a 1.5 extrusion. Whoa. Let me try that again. This is a 1.5 extrusion. Notice what that does. That makes this front end stick out of there. We don't like that. So I'm going to undo that. I'm going to take it back to here. So on this sketch, instead of dimensioning that at 2 inches, we're not going to dimension it at all. We're going to pull this. We're going to drag it to there where that green dot appears. And now it's blue. It's locked to that. So now, when we finish this, and we change extrusion 1, we change it back to that same 1.5, notice how that stays connected to there, and that's what we want. So let's go ahead and make this back to the original size. We are going to now extrude this. We're going to extrude it out. I'm okay really here, fine, if you do a 1/4 inch or a 1/2 inch. Either one looks just really similar to the book. 3/8 would probably be closer, but I want to keep it still on a 1/4 inch increment. So we got this one done. Now I need this on the other side. So what command could you use to do that? If you said mirror to yourself, you are correct. So we're going to come up here to this section where it says pattern. And up here, it's this M with the line in between, showing that center line. So it shows you a little graphic and shows you the letter M there. So I'm going to click on it. First thing that's highlighted there is called features. You're either going to click on your feature here, just come over here, hover over it, click on that, or If you're on more complex drawings, sometimes it's easier to go through this list. So notice, oh, extrusion 1, no. Extrusion 2, no. Extrusion 3, that's what I want. So you can click on it right there. Now, that's got your feature selected. Next, we're going to go to this next little button here, which is Mirror Plane. And then I have to come over here to my planes underneath my origin and decide what plane I want to mirror it on. Whether it's that plane, or that one, or these axes. Nope, it's not those. It's the plane, it says. It's that plane, the YZ plane. And I go, okay. And notice how nicely that mirrored that to the other side. From there, set a material to it. Say light red, sure. Hit your F6. That's got that centered up there nicely. Now, if you hit your F6 and I put it in some view that looks like this, you drew yours on the wrong plane. What you've got to do is you've got to get this thing set around to your approximate correct plane, and it's about like that. And then I'll click on this little corner. All right, right there. Yep, that's the plane I want it to be on. I want to set that as home. To do that, I right-click on this cube. Go set current view as home, fixed distance. So now what that does is when I twist it out here, I hit my F6, and it goes back there, so it's back at home. All right, so there, we're going to go ahead and save this. You may have already saved it, so if you already have saved it, you just click on Save. If you have not, you go to File, Save. Save this to your practice folder, and let me make sure I'm in the right hour. I am not, so let me get to my correct hour here. 5th hour, Q4, practice. And we're going to save this as P81-Bottom-, and it's kind of a combo of G and M, so we're going to go GM and save. There you go. That's it. That's that one finished. Now what you're going to do for optional is you're going to pick between a long list of drawings here. I'll pull this up on the screen. You're going to pick between F, H, J, K, O, P, Q, R, or S from the bottom of page 81, and you're going to choose 2 of those to complete. And there you go. Good luck.